going.
Okay. All right. If you're here early, we are here definitely super early. And the national, oh, there we go. The National Institutes of Standards clock says it is now, about 9 minutes, 8 minutes and 30 seconds. Skip ahead about 8 minutes and 30 seconds from now, and we'll be hitting the go button. But this is the pregame show. So if you're here early, that's wonderful. And we can, absolutely interact. It says live, and it says there's even one watching. How are you tonight, Mrs.?
The missus is sleepy tonight. I'm tired.
You're saying you are definitely, possibly to have the pillow tonight. Not kryptonite, but pillow tonight.
Right.
All right. Well, this new setup now that I've moved into the Hall of Solitude is great. I got that extra monitor, and so I can see everything at once.
It's nice, isn't it?
It is. It is wonderful. And the best part, there's a mini fridge within 6 inches of my hand. So, there's beer. And, there are little buttons now. You can
What are you talking about? Little buttons on what?
On the chat, on the live stream chat. So you can press little parties and little faces and yep, little buttons. So how was your day?
Have that.
Hey, your computer must be inferior. So your day is pretty good?
That's fine.
I'm definitely ready for it not to be 1,000,000 degrees out.
I think we have about 4 more days of that.
And guess what? It's only about 5 weeks till pumpkin spice latte starts showing up in the stores.
I know.
It's almost pumpkin spice season. I can't wish it soon enough.
I'll just be inside under an air conditioner until then.
So I got Trudeau is coming up. I'll need the breaking news sounder.
Okay.
You
mean this one?
Breaking news.
If you get any WWE stuff, that would be good.
WWE stuff?
Yeah, like Randy Macho Man Savage. Oh, yeah. Or Hulk Hogan talking about the Hulkster.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. We'll need that one for later. All right. Yep, I think we're about ready there. And Tim Turner's here. Hey, Tim.
I don't think that ended up in there.
Yeah, I think happiness is a second monitor. I mean, that's all you really need to be happy in life. A second monitor and a beer fridge.
Oh, yeah.
A beer fridge?
Hey, is that Mark?
It is Mark.
You're here like super early for Mark.
Am I?
Yes. And Tim Turner is also on. He is he is listening to the pregame show as we get warmed up on this beautiful hot August 2nd, 2023.
This might be as warmed up as I get tonight.
Yep. All right, T-minus 4 minutes. Hey, Mark, do you have Apple TV?
No.
You can get it, and if you haven't seen For All Mankind, it is worth the $8 you spend, because you'll not through that in a month. Did you like the new version of Battlestar Galactica?
Um, I had a hard time getting into the show. I don't know why. It was just
Uh,
I watched, I don't know, probably about 4 episodes of the first season and sort of gave up.
we thought it was great. This was really worth it. Keep in mind, we just moved to Alaska too, so all we had to do was freeze up there or watch Battlestar Galactica.
Well, and I'm sure it's probably one of those, if I just stuck it out a little bit longer, it probably would have been great. But
There were some ups and downs. And Tim notes, if you search carefully, you can find all the apples and other stuff for free. But again, for all mankind, that's been a really excellent show. The premise of the show is, if the Soviets had landed the first ship on the moon, and so the split in time happens, I think, in 1965, when Korolev, the Soviet version of von Braun, survives a rocket explosion, and so he's able to take them to the moon.
oh,
It's really good. It's just science and history for a while, but then it gets science fiction-y. It's pretty awesome. Way better reality than ours. Wouldn't you say, honey?
What's that?
It's a better reality than ours.
Mm.
Eh?
Yeah.
Now, what does it say about me that YouTube suggests Monty Python sketches as well as Peter Frampton and Stephen Wright? Oh, and 10 minutes he just found for all mankind on a free site.
Here you are paying for Apple TV like a sucker.
No, we're not, because Pugsley got it for free. So he bought something. All of the streaming sites like to have their numbers. They want to bump up their numbers because they're not rookies, right?
That's right.
They want big numbers, quick. Big money, no whammies. That makes me sound old to say something like that.
It does. This is me.
Get off my chair.
I'm so tired.
Leave my lawn. Well, the good thing is you've only got like 30 seconds to show.
That's true. That's true.
And I like to think we've got some good think real fast stuff coming up. We're going to Chicago. We got AI. We got Kamala.
Was Chicago AI?
Don't even make me go there. Oh, man. Our Jackass of the Week competition is going to be a big one.
It should be good, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's 5, 4, 3, 2.
We got movie sign.
Movie sign.
Bants and Bants. Bants and Bants.
All systems go.
Bants and Bants.
Defiance.
Bants and Bants.
This rebel has a cause.
Bombs and Bants.
We begin as wanderers, and we are wanderers still.
Welcome, everyone, to the 96th live edition of Bombs and Bants and Wednesday Rants. As always, I'm your dedicated and humble host, John Wilder, coming to you from the penthouse control room of the majestic Wilder Industries skyscraper. With me, as always, is Mark.
Hey,
Where are you broadcasting from tonight, Mark?
somewhere in deep space through a wormhole. So if there's audio issues, that's why.
Excellent. And the missus, where are you? Are you still in the deep bunker in an undisclosed location, very near the bowels of the earth?
Actually, I actually had my mic on mute, so.
Tim Turner was wondering, are you under the weather? And the answer is no, you're just tired.
I am just tired, yeah.
Yep, she's feeling fit as a fiddle And actually, I was.
I've been getting up ungodly early.
Yes. Yeah. Normally, I'm the first one up, and now I'm not. I'm the last one up. I kind of enjoy that.
I'm pretty sure we almost met each other last night because you were up blogging late, and I'm pretty sure that I got up maybe a half an hour after you went to bed. So.
Oh no, it was longer than that.
Was
Trust
it?
me, you snore. Yes, you do. So all good.
I do have some funnies before we start because it is my job to find funny things. Oh, and also I did want to mention this too, that we have new items available in the Wilder's Wearable store on Cafe Press. You'll find the link down there in the description. We do have the demanded Midget Hammer Fighting World Tour t-shirts.
Excellent.
Also, Unpaid Ukraine and Human Burger Helper t-shirts available. Also, the new coffee mug too, the Bombs and Bants. A lot of things they didn't tell me before I joined up with these people mug. So
I
check
like
those out.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
That's excellent.
And now my funnies.
Oh,
My
I
first.
thought those were.
No, that was not my fun. That was my serious stuff. Come on. Funny stuff. I just found this one that. Oops. Chinese zoo denies its bears are humans in costume. And there's a picture of the bear. That looks like a human in a costume to me.
Indeed, it just looks like.
But
especially the
what?
legs.
We can trust the Chinese, right? They never lie to us. Okay, so that's the first one. And then I have, who doesn't love a good mom joke? Here's your mom joke for tonight. They used to be called jumpolines until your mom bounced on one.
Oh, that's funny.
And then the last one, a good White House Coke meme. I'd like a Pepsi. We have Coke. Okay, I'll take a gram of that and a Pepsi. This isn't the White House, ma'am.
I like it. All good.
All right, so there's our starting off funnies.
Our pre-game warm-up.
No,
Excellent.
this is just the beginning of the game. It's not pre-game. We're actually in the game right now. Pre-game becomes before the game. This is the game. Therefore, it's no longer pre-game.
But it's not the game, so it's special teams. So this is like the kickoff.
Or the coin flip.
The coin flip. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Congress is in recess, but House Oversight Committee members work on Monday as they heard closed-door testimony from Hunter Biden business associate Devin Archer. Archer served with the younger Biden on the board of the company Burisma. Here's how House Oversight Committee Republican Nick Langworthy on why the committee called Archer to testify.
Well, let's face it, Devin Archer was in the room. This is very important in a key voice that we need to hear from on the Oversight Committee to complete this investigation. He's been in the room when Hunter Biden allegedly called his father into meetings. He's been in the room to discuss arrangements with foreign entities and Joe Biden and Hunter Biden. So his voice is critical to this investigation because he has firsthand knowledge of what went on.
You know, I can't help but think back to the cartoon television series Archer and think, are we still doing phrasing? Are we still doing
We should
phrasing?
totally be doing phrasing.
Oh.
Especially
So-
the season when they were all on Coke.
So Scott Adams was really all over this, and he said that this was the biggest news story of the week. Your thoughts, Mark?
My only thought is that the only reason this guy's still alive is because the Democrats must want Biden out of the White House really badly.
Well, if you note, they did want him picked up and put in jail before he could testify. But then, you know, after the outcry, they said, well, no, you can come in after you talk to the
Yeah,
talk
but
to
we
Congress.
know. I mean, if he'd had anything on Hillary Clinton, he'd be in a barrel buried somewhere in a swamp in Alabama.
You get free ticket to go see Titanic. Oh, all right. But
All I can say is that, okay, so you walk into a room, and these are the two guys, for a business meeting, and these are the two guys sitting across the table from you.
Yeah.
I mean, you just turn around and walk out of that meeting.
Well, I'm thinking, you know, if I
Would you
had
buy a used
cocaine-
car from either of those guys, let alone both of them? What a pair of weasels.
Only if one of their last name was Biden, right?
Well, you can get Dad on the phone and he'll say hi and never ask why you keep wanting me to jump on these conference calls with all these foreign strangers whom I've never met.
Indeed.
And I just can't believe the pretzel logic of our media in this country. The New York Times, who comes out the day after he testifies and says, essentially, well, we've all known that Joe talked to Hunter's business partners.
It's almost like they believe in a flat Earth.
Almost that way.
Hello, friends. My name is Herkel Winding Hemingframton Munn, and I'm president of the Flat Earth Society of America. I'm here today to talk to you about the wonders of our flat Earth. Now, I know you probably have many questions, so let me begin by saying, yes, we are serious, and no, we weren't dropped on our heads multiple times as babies. We are, however, all middle children, desperate for our parents' attention because they didn't even notice when we dyed our hair purple and got a nose ring. But that doesn't really have anything to do at all with this. Many people dismiss us as a fringe group or just a bunch of crazies, but we are neither. For those of you who doubt the reality of a flat Earth, I ask you to consider this. If the Earth is round, why don't we all just fly off if it spins around? Gotcha there, don't I? Now that you understand, you probably are interested in joining our family. Our membership has been growing for several years and has seen exponential rise since the invention of TikTok. Our reach is now global. We have branches all around the world and in every major city. But we are always looking for new members. We'd like you to join us this Saturday at the local park near you for our annual Frisbee basketball tournament and membership drive. Bring your own Frisbee and a covered dish for the picnic to follow. No potato salad, please. We look forward to seeing you. For the Flat Earth Society of America, I am Franz Jurgenstamp Hammond Winchester, Smythe.
So did you know that Frisbee basketball is a real thing?
There really is. We were kind of making a pun when I was the missus and I were talking about it, and so what would they play? Well, they can't use a ball because that would be a globe. So yeah, frisbee basketball.
Is this for the people that like to play frisbee golf but can only afford one receptacle thing to throw it into?
And I was thinking they could also play pancake golf. Golf with pancakes.
Oh, that would have been good, pancake golf.
Yes, because they have no balls. All right, moving right along. Congressional Republicans have been floating the idea of impeaching Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas.
The guy who looks like an alien.
It feels like he should be playing castanets, doesn't it? And he looks like he should be playing castanets and with a rose between his teeth. Anyway. So they dragged his withered carcass over to the hill last week to see if they could get some answers out of him regarding the security of our southern border, which he firmly claims is so secure and that the border is totally not open. Speaking of getting dragged, here's Wyoming Representative Harriet Hageman closing out her 5-minute questioning of Mr. Mayorkas.
Now, this clip is a little bit long, but it's worth it because, man, does she just, tear him a new one. Here she is.
I have watched with absolute fascination as you have danced and dodged and lied. Yes, lied. We know you've lied. You know you've lied. But more importantly, the American public knows that you lied throughout your testimony today. And yet you believe that you and your fellow architects of the censorship industrial complex think that you should be able to determine what is and isn't true and what is and isn't untrue. You are the walking, talking epitome of the very tyrant that our forefathers recognized would gravitate towards government service. And it is because of people like you that they drafted the First Amendment. I thank them for their foresight. I thank them for recognizing that you and people like you would do everything in your power to control speech, to control freedom, to take away our rights. And they've written a document that isn't going to allow you to do that. Unfortunately, we still have courts and judges who recognize that you don't have the power that you are attempting to take, that you do not have the right to limit our freedom of speech, our freedom of association, our right to communicate. Thank God we have the First Amendment so that we can stop you from doing what you've been doing. With that, I yield back.
Your accusations are false.
Now, why is she not running for president?
Because she's got the crazy eyes. Do you see her picture there?
Yeah,
I mean, she
she's got
looks
the
like a
total crazy
lunatic.
Yeah,
and that's like her normal look. Any picture, just Google an image of her. That's what she always looks like. So back when they did the big...
So she looked like she'd come and give you a motherly hug and a casserole, but the casserole just might have strychnine in it, right?
Exactly. Exactly. Gotcha. And, you know, she makes a lot of sense, but again, looks like a crazy person.
You look insane, yeah. That's why Doc Brown never was arrested for... Wait. Oh, anyway, we'll stop there.
But of the two of them, at least she's not one who looks like she's a space alien, so... She's got that going for her, which is nice.
I thought you meant that Mayorkas, or whatever his name is, looked like a different type of alien. Like he'd snuck across the border.
No, I think he looks like he stepped off a spaceship yesterday and has come here demanding to see our leader.
Indeed.
You know, with that shot, though, if he is an alien, I bet you his eyeballs are, well, visual sensing organs must be up inside his nostrils with how far he's tilted his head back.
He and Mark Zuckerberg attach their tentacles to one another and communicate telepathically.
That's not what they're doing when they touch their tentacles.
Tentacles.
It's not gay if they don't touch.
No, it's not gay if their eyes don't touch. All right, we better stop here. Okay. This next story starts with a video. This extreme sport enthusiast and internet daredevil, Remy Luciado, also known as Remy Enigma.
It's Lucidi, not Luciado. Lucidi.
Lucidi. Oh, yes. Okay. Lucidi likes to climb things and scamper about the edges of them. Or shall we put that in past tense? Yeah. The newsbot will fill in the blanks.
30-year-old French daredevil Remy Lucidi was climbing on the 68th floor of the Tregunter Tower in Hong Kong last Thursday evening, when he apparently fell to his death. Building security says Lucidi entered the building by claiming to be a friend of a resident. Surveillance video shows him on the 40th floor of the building where he apparently left the building elevator and took the stairs to the 68th floor. There, he forced open a locked hatch to gain access to the roof. Police say the man was last seen alive at 7:38 p.m. when he tapped on the window of the complex's penthouse, prompting a maid to call the police. It is believed Lucidi was trapped outside of the penthouse and was banging on the window for help before the unfortunate accident. Police have yet to determine a cause of death.
I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'd say it was the sudden stop at the end of that long fall. Probably is what caused his death. Yeah.
A gravity-assisted acceleration followed by a sudden deceleration against an object.
So, and apparently,
they don't mention anything about his sign that he was trying to show that maid, as where he indicated he had dirt on Hillary Clinton.
Or maybe he was just waving his tentacles.
Yeah, I was going over that. He had these tentacles pressed against the glass.
And apparently a couple of weeks ago, somebody had tweeted something at him on his Twitter page that said, "What are you going to do when you stand before God and tell him that you wasted your precious life doing this?" Like 2 weeks ago. And his response was, "LOK, LOL, thanks, dude." So, live by the skyscraper, die at the foot of the skyscraper.
God, I hope he likes the podcast better. Okay, moving right along. In news that certainly isn't a precursor to a horror movie, not at all. Scientists have managed to bring back to life a 40,000-year-old roundworm. It was born about the time of really Bernie Sanders, and is found in permafrost in Siberia. The roundworm, or tardigrade, those are different things, are able to
That's
survive.
not what the Wall Street Journal and this article said, is that the tardigrades and roundworms One's a subspecies of the other, I guess.
Okay. Well, they can survive in extreme environments due to the ability to shut down almost everything that keep it alive, called cryptobiosis. The Wall Street Journal has more.
And here's the video clip. Oh, wait a second. This might not be the right clip. We'll see how it plays out, though. And if you're not familiar with what that is a clip from the opening sequence of John Carpenter's The Thing, which if you haven't seen, you have homework for this week then.
It's the best movie in history.
It is probably the best horror movie out there.
It's a great
especially
horror movie.
If you like sci-fi horror.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But here is the actual video footage we were talking about.
Using this technique, Javier's graduate student was able to capture the Dominican tardigrade.
I was expecting this to be a saucy video.
Thing, like, just was beautiful, like in great detail. And not
He's
only
kind
the
of
whole
saucy.
body, and from different directions, but also he was able to get this super nice fine detail of the claws themselves.
That's important because scientists use the structure of the claws to figure out what kind of tardigrade they have in front of them.
So that's the 40-year-old animal they revived from the permafrost. Do you see how the Thing might figure into this?
Oh, yes.
It eats things that has claws. It's tiny. For now.
Yeah, the alien started out tiny in the movie as well.
It did. All it needs is one cell. All right.
Okay, so here, there's another sentence there that I wrote for you. Researchers hope to study of these little durable water bears might one day help humans endure long-distance space travel. Or destroy all mankind. It could go either way. Anyway.
Destroy us all. Destroy us all. You need that one.
I do.
That was from what?
The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
Yeah. All right. Imagine coming home from work one day to find a giant pole sticking out of the ground in your driveway. I can think of worse places. And it wasn't there when you left for work that morning. Well, that's apparently what happened to a New Zealand teacher. Well, okay. The Creepy News Bot has the story.
Arriving home from school last week, teacher Sophie Hucker got a big surprise. She found a 6-foot pole cemented into her driveway. At first, she thought the plastic-wrapped metal pole was a delivery, that maybe her neighbors had ordered it to set up a basketball hoop. Hucker first thought it might have been a mistake, that a worker had gotten the wrong address. Others thought it might be an intricate prank or even a gift for owning her house for 4 years. Hucker contacted local police and has posted her tale on social media, but, so far, no one has owned up to the mysterious post.
First post is best post. Oh, sorry. Bad internet joke. So do you think maybe she's a pole dancer? I mean,
maybe she could start doing it as an amateur. Actually, though, there is a follow-up to the story. So it does turn out, someone finally responded, it was a fencing company that just got the wrong address. Although I don't know why you'd just stick a pole in the middle of someone's driveway and leave it there. But that's what happened. And the funny thing was, of course, is that when this post went viral, the people who worked for this fencing company were laughing at it because they thought it was so funny. Until, of course, they realized that they were the idiots who made the mistake.
And Jim Wetzel wins the internet with anonymous post.
Well, they were very apologetic.
Good job, Joe.
Yes. And this one's just for Jim for having a great joke.
Massive cannibalism.
Yeah.
There we go. And of course, it's time for a new movie from our friends at Slap Cop.
Slap Cop Films. A subsidiary of Slap Cop Entertainment. Brings you the scariest film of the middle-late summer season. They're quiet. They're unassuming. They live under your stairs. And they use no modern technology. They are under the stairs.
Ah, what you looking at there? The internet? Never heard of it.
An Uber? Is that some kind of new potato salad?
Oh, hey, dear. What's that? A cell phone?
Netflix. Can you use that to catch a fish?
Don't miss the exciting horror film that has critics gouging out their own eyes, coming to a theater in a burnt-out building near you. From Slapcop Films and Slapcop Entertainment, they are the Amish under the stairs.
So I suppose we should give some backstory to we have some neighbors who live a few houses down from us. And so what happens is they moved in probably, what do you think, about a year and a half ago?
Something like that. And just
And
started
so they-
building out buildings on their
Yes.
very small lot. And so now there's like 10 buildings on what's about a half-acre lot.
So our typical theory is this, that they have Amish that they have trapped under the stairs. And then they cover all of the walls with paper so they can't tell if it's day or night. And they send them out at night to make barns. So, you know, it may not be as funny to you as it is to us, but I think it's hilarious.
It's just something with that house because it is the former house of the person we called the cat tickler.
Yes, the cat
The woman
tickler.
with the big long feather who would chase her cat and tickle her cat in the butt with the feather.
Yes.
In public, this happened.
And it's gone from the cat tickler to the silence of the Amish. Tim asked the question, how do you get your voice so low on that? And I'm assuming that you use the audio controls to tone it down.
Actually, that is an AI voice. That is Jigsaw from the... oh, God. What's the Jigsaw?
You have a low voice in there, too. So it's not...
Oh, yeah, I do, too. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the
So
narrator voice was not me. That was
Yes.
Jigsaw.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess it's time for...
This is Neil Young,
Hey, get that jackass out of here!
and I'm proud to present my Braying Jackass of the Week.
Candidate number one, I should say not candidate, nominee number one, U.S. Representative from Somalia, Ilhan Omar, recently sat down for an interview with Al Jazeera when she unleashed this lovely little nugget.
I would say our country should be more fearful of white men across our country because they are actually causing most of the deaths within this country.
Would you
That's
like to
gonna
go
be-
to the statistics on this, Bob?
That's gonna be
Let's
hard
go
to
to the
do.
statistics, shall we? Here we have from the FBI 2019 adult homicide statistics, the most recent available. We have race of the victim, white or black, race of the offender. White offenders, we're what, at about 2,700? Black offenders, we're at 3,000. Okay. Let's just say for the argument's sake that maybe we're talking juveniles here at the bottom. This is actually for 2020. All offenses, no, let's look at murder. So we have 12,000 for all races. Whites making up 5,600 of those. Black offenders making up 6,300 of those. So I just have to say, Bob, on both of those, that that is incorrect. I thought I had a buzzer here. Do I not? No, I guess I don't.
Well, we knew she was wrong.
Right. But, you know, I feel that I need to prove that because unlike a Democrat, I do like to have actual evidence to back up my claims.
Indeed. Well, let's see what sort of temptress could take us out of this one. House Majority Leader Steve Scalise was on the floor of the House last week when he was interrupted by Democrat Representative from Missouri, Cori Bush. The nomination goes to Bush for her comments as Scalise yields his time.
But to come to an agreement to solve these problems, to pass these bills, if both sides won't, we still will do that work. And I would yield one more time to the gentlelady. Be in order. Mr. Speaker, the House is not in order. The House will be in order.
I didn't hear what Corey said.
And if you didn't hear what she said, she yells out while Scalise is speaking, "Your bills are racist!"
Your mother's all racist?
Your bills are racist.
Oh, your bills are racist.
Yeah,
But
clearly.
to come to an agreement, be in order. To the gentlelady.
Listen right here.
Be in order. The gentlelady. Be
So
in
there
order.
it is.
No, that's okay. Yep. I got it. So we have an option here between the Ilhan Omar, who is stupid as well as wrong, and Democrat from Missouri, Cory Bush. I'm not even going to go with.
And this is her official congressional picture. And she looks,
that.
she chose that. That was the best one. And she looks like she is not sure where she is, like she might have shown up in the wrong class. Like that day that you showed up to your Spanish class, your first day when you were in college, and instead of ending up in Spanish 1, you were in Spanish 3. I don't understand anything anyone is saying here. Yes.
She looks constipated. So Tim Turner notes both, but one if you have to have a vote. Mark, do you have any opinions?
Oh, this is a hard one, but the race card's all old and tired.
They're both.
I know, but I'm gonna go with the evil, the person that belongs to the satanic religion. Oh yeah, that's both of them too. I'll go with number one, just because I hate her. Whatever the hell she's got wrapped around her head.
Did you realize she's bald under that? Okay, no. Tim votes one. Jim votes one. You vote one. I vote one. That makes Ilhan Omar a unanimous winner tonight.
Oops. Neil Young's Braying. Let's try that again. And this has been Neil Young's Braying Jackass of the Week. Maybe one of these weeks we'll get Ilhan Omar and Kamala against each other. That would be a battle of titans.
And Tim asks, why does the missus never get a vote? And that's because she picks the
right. I pick them. Yeah.
So she's bringing up there. She is, she's kind of like the referee. She's wearing the black and white shirt. She's just bringing it out there. She's saying, I found these two doozies, and I don't know how I can pick.
And if there's a tie, I get to be the tiebreaker.
Yep.
Oh my God! Does that make me Kamala Harris? My only job as president of the Senate is to just sit here and break ties in case they happen.
Jim, how about a three-way with the Hildebeest? Ow!
Ooh!
Okay, it's time for
Think Real Fast.
And we have
what?
It's the breaking thing.
Oh, sorry. I was not aware that was the lead-in for me to play this.
Yes, and whoever said we have
breaking news.
See, but you should tell me that before you give me the cue. I don't know what the cue means.
Normally, you're perfect. So, how can I blame you for being not as good as you normally are? Okay, Trudeau had said, soon won't be wed.
Oh, wait.
I will never apologize for standing up for an LGBTQ2 plus.
Just hang on to that and be ready to replay that, because that will be coming to you. Again, Trudeau had said, soon won't be wed, as his beard, otherwise known as Sophie Gregory Trudeau, has filed for divorce.
When you say her name like that, I picture Rasputin.
But
in a dress.
She's not bad, actually. Mark, do you think it's because Justin has a secret love child with Fidel Castro?
That's gross. Oh, well, that's sort of an incestuous relationship there. No, gosh, I hope not. That would be disgusting. Although I guess it could be made into a Lifetime movie.
The missus, can
I
you
would
play,
watch that.
the missus, can you play Trudeau's special alphabet?
I will never apologize for standing up for an LGBTQ2 plus.
Do you think he's GAY? That's your question. Do you think he's GAY?
I don't know, but he and Tom Cruise spend a lot of time together.
And here's a question for both of you to discuss. Was it both Justin all along? Was Sophie Justin and was Justin? Because, he'd wear women's clothing one time and be Sophie and then, kind of like Mrs. Doubtfire. Do you think that's what went on?
Well, in that little commercial we did for the Canadian Tourism Bureau, they were actually the same person. Just one of them was wearing men's clothes. The other was wearing women's clothes. We are so edgy.
All right. All right. Next item. LK99, potential room temperature superconductor, is still a possibility. Mark, last week you showed skepticism about this breakthrough. Is it because you believe Asians aren't good at math?
No. I gosh, I can't believe you'd accuse me of that. That is so typical. I love everyone. I love all people.
Well, wait till you hear the missus question. The missus, are Asians aliens?
Frederick! We can explain it more slowly if you need us to.
I'll just take that as you're not answering.
And then finally...
Why you bullying me?
The U.S. spent $110 million to build a drone base and every year at that drone base, it spends $20 million to run it. That drone base is in Niger. Mark, what will the schools do if we don't drone them?
Which schools?
Any of the schools that we would normally drone.
Like droning, like a droning teacher?
No, like taking
Bueller.
Bueller.
I represent science.
So a little bit more backstory.
No. I mean, I know what's going to happen with that base. The base is going to be handed over to the Wagner Group.
Yes. The missus, could that money have been better used by Zelensky on another spare house or something?
Heavily on the or something?
Yes. Oh, what will you?
I'm sorry. Maybe
He's
I am a
probably
little
going to
under the
spend the
weather.
money on Trudeau.
Oh, well now.
All right.
Hey now. Getting a little
All
saucy there.
I'm going to leave this story with the note that Niger is such a wonderful place that armed robbers stole $40,000 in American taxpayer money in a daylight armed robbery recently. I guess that the base is now closed, though. Moose out front should have told you. All right.
Sorry, folks, park's closed. The moose out front should have told you.
Excellent, you got that one. That brings us to more.
That's a different cue.
Breaking news.
Americans have been asked to leave Niger. Mark, if there were any Americans living in Niger, would they be called American Africans?
That makes perfect sense. Yes.
Okay, that was all I had for that one. Even as African bases are rated, the U.S. debt has been downgraded, with Fitch moving our credit from AAA to AA. Mark, do you think maybe the United States needs a side job at Wendy's until things get better and we get back on our feet?
No. Actually, it's a good move. Everybody knows that AA's are bigger than AAA's, and
easier to find.
If we play it right, we might get to C or D.
There you go.
Democrats are working on it.
The Mrs. When will Trump be indicted for this outrage?
I think they probably should impeach him again for it.
There you go. Remove him from
Why
office.
would they not?
Speaking of Trump, on his latest indictment, they're trying him in a federal court where the jury pool will be 92.1% Biden voters.
That seems fair.
Mark, do you think he would get a sweetheart deal if he just promised to be adopted by Biden?
No, I don't think so. But he might get the death penalty.
The missus, do you think it would help in his case if he knocked up a stripper and abandoned the child?
I think he would become the darling of the New York media.
There you go. And here's a little bit of a chronology. On June 7th, the FBI released documents to Congress alleging the Bidens took a $10 million bribe from Burisma. On June 8th, Jack Smith indicted Trump. On July 26th, Hunter Biden goes to court and rejects a sweetheart plea deal after it was revealed the DOJ tried to give him blanket immunity from future prosecutions. The next day, on July 27th, Jack Smith adds more charges to Trump. On July 31st, Hunter Biden's former business partner testifies to Congress that Joe Biden was on over 20 calls on his son's business partners and that Burisma execs pressured them to fire the prosecutor. The next day, on August 1st, Jack Smith indicts Trump again for January 6th. Mark, what will Jack do if Hunter is caught with an underage Filipino whore?
Well, he'd probably go and just go and shoot Trump in the head. I don't know.
The missus is the cure to our democracy. Should we vote harder next time?
That's it. We're just not voting hard enough. Yeah.
No, I agree. Republicans need to vote at least 5 or 10 times each.
You can't say that. He's not serious. He means in Minecraft. Do you not remember what happened to Baked Alaska and in Ricky Vaughn?
Yeah, I didn't say what they were supposed to vote on.
Oh, yeah, maybe it was the Lions Club.
Voting on what's for dinner.
That's right.
Pizza!
Vince McMahon of WWE fame has been raided by the FBI. It's a cue for you, the missus.
For what? What's the cue for?
I told you to have, Randy ready.
Oh, okay. All right. Wait, let me remember what that's under.
Oh, yeah!
So, like I said, Vince McMahon of WWE fame has been raided by the FBI. Mark, will they drop him from the top rope?
Drop him? No. They'll throw him very high first.
The missus, will Vince McMahon be allowed to challenge the FBI in a steel cage death match?
Depends on who he voted for in the last election.
Oh, good call.
Yeah. And by the way, every time from now on that you give me a cue and I have no idea what it is you want me to do,
I like turtles.
That's what you're getting.
Like turtles. Potential cancer cure stops this little tiny protein that exists in our body made of squishy stuff that allows cancer cells to be cancer and reproduce. Mark, will this just be the zillionth time we cure cancer in rats?
Hey, Biden promised to cure cancer, and so of course there's a cure to cancer. It would never have happened. It would never happen with Trump in office.
There you go. The missus, do you think this will be safe and effective?
No, I think it'll probably cause cancer.
Well,
when they said cancer shot,
it'll be like I Am Legend. Be like I Am Legend.
You probably thought we meant that it took away the cancer.
It said it's the I Am Legend shot, as Mark's been trying to get out. Oh. Well, speaking of I Am Legend, the new mayor of Chicago, Brandon Johnson, celebrated a weekend with 50 shot between Friday and Sunday. Mark, are those rookie numbers? Think he'll be able to improve throughout the season?
Oh, definitely.
All right. The missus. Do you miss Mayor Beetlejuice already?
A little bit, just because she was a gift that kept on giving. However, Brandon Johnson sounds like the name he uses when he checks into the motel to meet his mistress. So
there we go.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Trudeau.
I don't think you ever see those two together. Maybe they're the same person.
All right,
And
Or
both
maybe
of
they're just
both
very-
of them are Mrs. Trudeau.
It's probably because one goes in the front entrance and one goes in the back.
Oh, the longer we get into the podcast, the spicier Mark gets.
And pretty soon we're back to the underage Filipino whore. All right, and now we have more.
I like turtles.
Breaking.
Breaking news.
AI can detect breast cancer as well as radiologists. Mark, do you wonder how AI can detect radiologists? Is it the smell?
No, it's the squishy. It's the squishiness when the giant metal claws crush their skulls.
And this is the first time I think in any of the shows that we've given the missus the giggles. I heard her giggling through that one. The missus, is this how our new robot overlords, which I support, get us?
No, but I'm kind of suspicious now that maybe radiologists cause cancer. They're a controlled substance in California.
just sit under this helpful light.
Now let me go hide in the lead-lined room.
Oh, that's funny. Hang on just a sec.
What a great
right.
segue.
Yes,
That was amazing.
All right, and we have more.
Frederick.
No.
Breaking news.
I like turtles.
That's excellent. In a shock poll, lefties prefer Kamala over Joe. Both. Who will the Democratic nominee be?
Come on, man.
Gavin.
The missus?
A feral goat they found by the roadside. That's what I'm going with.
That's who Hunter go with. But...
I agree with you, Mark. You are correct. It is Gavin Newsom. Both. Who will be the Republican nominee? Mark, go first.
Trump.
All right, the missus?
Oh, yeah!
Macho Man Randy Savage.
Gonna,
Wait, what was the question?
I like turtles.
We're going to give him cancer to bring him back to the death.
If he'd stayed away from the radiologist.
Zombie Randy National Man Sandwich. You know, I have a friend of mine who, and you know him, the boy worked for him in a certain state
okay.
where Jim Wetzel lives. And anyway, he actually rode a plane with a Randy Macho Man Savage. And my friend is, he's like, you say he's like 5'9" or so? 5'10"?
I don't know. It's been like 20 years since I've seen him.
I don't ask
in
him.
person. I don't know.
But he said like Randy Macho Man Savage is like 5'2", you know. He's oh yeah.
He's muy pequeño.
So I've got to say that my thought on the definitive answer is 90% Trump if not in jail, 10% Tucker Carlson if not.
So Tucker's the dark horse? Hello?
Yes, I do think so. I think he's literally the only other candidate. Who do you of the two? Why don't you two think of anybody else on the Republican side that you think could be?
Well, you know, it's the same as what it was in 2016. Seriously speaking, is that Trump just sucks up all the oxygen in the room. And you know, Joe ought to be happy that he's getting all this congressional attention, because if it wasn't for that, he'd be getting no press at all.
Mark?
Yes.
And Mark chimes in.
I like turtles.
I'd already answered the question. I said it was going to be Trump.
All right, so let me ask this. So let me ask this: Democrat. We both agree it's going to be Newsom. Who do you think the vice president?
Gretchen,
on the Democrat side?
Gretchen Whitmer.
Ooh, Gretchen Whitmer.
Yeah, that psycho from Michigan. Michigan, right?
Yeah, indeed. She gets the insane mommy vote, the mommy dearest vote.
She has
called.
crazier eyes than Hageman does.
No. I think they'll have to go with somebody who's. I think they'll go with someone who's a person of color.
Cory Bush.
Maybe
Scott Adams.
It's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see how it plays out.
Well, maybe they'll want to go for the Indian vote and get Elizabeth Warren in there.
Well, so here's the bonus question, and this will be the last thing real fast. How much of a factor do you think RFK is going to be in this election? I think he's going to go regardless. I think he's going to get on ballots, and I think he's going to do pretty well. Mark, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think he'll do fairly well. He potentially, if he decides to push it all the way, he could tear some votes away from the Democratic candidate, whoever it is.
Yeah, I think you're right about that.
This could be like the Clinton Bush election where, what was that Texan guy? Perot, yeah. Perot, every time it looked like Clinton was falling behind, Perot would come in and say, oh, yeah, I'm going to run for president. Again, I don't know how many times he did that, a couple times at least. And, he ended up, stealing about 10 or 15% of the vote away from that otherwise would have gone to Bush.
Mm-hmm.
So
really a non-factor with Bob Dole, because, Bob wasn't going to win anyway.
Right. They just tossed him that bone so he could run for president.
Yeah.
Because he was a loyal party guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think RFK certainly will pull votes from both sides. But I think he'll pull more from Biden if Biden's the nominee or whoever's the nominee on the left. And I think that's why the Democrats are going to move heaven and earth to, number one, discredit him and make him look like a lunatic. And number two, make sure he can't get on the debate stage, can't get anywhere near their candidate.
That's right.
Because they know he'll hurt him.
Yeah. Oh, I was going to make a Kennedy joke, but, again, we don't want to get banned. So.
Exactly, right.
On that note.
No, we're not ready for that. We have to end Think Real Fast.
Oh, sorry.
Think real fast.
Okay.
I like turtles.
I like turtles.
And on that note, I'd like to thank everyone for coming tonight to Moms and Bants and Wednesday Rants. I think this has been a special, fun, super-size edition. As always, I'm your dedicated and humble host, John Wilder.
Yeah, I like turtles.
Mark likes turtles.
I like turtles.
Hey, that's what I said.
I like turtles.
Hey, go check out our store, Wilder's Wearables. It's in the description. I am the missus. Y'all come back now next week, you hear?
Ooh, hitting that like a pro.